Hi everyone. Today we are going to be talking about the six tastes. Now, what are the six tastes, you might be wondering? Because for a lot of people, this is a new way to think about food. So I'm excited to talk with you a little bit further about this today. So food is energy. It's energy and it's information for our minds and our bodies. It comes in energy in the form of calories, proteins, carbohydrates, and fats. And we need all of them for our healthiest self and our healthiest bodies. The nutrients that come from these six tastes talk to our genes in our bodies. So the foods that we eat actually will influence our mind, our body, and the person that we are today. What you put in your body will affect your energy, it will affect how you feel, and ultimately how your mind and your body function. So, what I invite you to think about for just a moment is if you've ever had a meal and at the end of it you thought, I was missing something. It needed to be a little bit sweeter, a little bit saltier. Most likely that meal was missing one of the six tastes, or at least it didn't have enough in it to help you feel like you had a full, satisfying meal. Versus if you had a meal where you finished and you thought, that was perfect. I don't need anything sweet, I don't need anything salty, I'm just completely satisfied. Most likely that meal had all of the six tastes that we are about to talk about. So, the six tastes of life, according to Ayurveda, are sweet, salty, sour, bitter, pungent, and astringent. So including these six tastes in every meal will ensure that you feel fully satisfied when you finish that meal. It will help you to eat healthier and to have a more balanced diet while also getting all of the nutrients that you need for your body. So let's start by talking about sweet. Sweet is the taste of nourishment, and it comes from all three carbs, fats, and proteins. It is what builds our tissues and builds body mass. It's energy, and in Ayurveda, it's made up of the elements of water and earth. So, for many of us, sweet is the primary taste that we get in our diets, and we often think of sweet as cakes, cookies, and ice cream, and those things are sweet. But what I'm talking about right now, more specifically, are the foods that are sweet but nutritious for you. So, sweet is the main taste in grains like breads, rice, and pasta, fruits such as apples and ripe bananas, starchy vegetables, including sweet potatoes, dairy, herbs such as mint and vanilla, and of course, chocolate, yes, nuts and seeds, sugar, honey, and some animal products. The taste of sweet helps to promote growth, and it has that nutritive soothing effect on our bodies. Again, it helps to bring about that feeling of satisfaction when you get done eating a meal. The second taste is sour, and sour is the taste of acid or acidity. So it's the acidity is what creates the sour taste. And in Ayurveda, it consists of the earth and the fire elements. It's found in citrus fruits like oranges, lemons, limes, in yogurt and cheese, tomatoes, alcohol, and fermented foods like pickles and in vinegar. It stimulates the production of stomach acid, which enhances our appetite and it assists in digestion. So it's really beneficial, the sour taste, for people who have a sluggish appetite, but could be irritating to someone who suffers from heartburn. So you might hear someone say, oh, I can't have that tomato sauce, or I can't have that orange juice, and because it'll increase my heartburn. And that's because those foods contain this sour property, which can aggravate already underlying heartburn or digestive issues. Acidity increases our digestive fire. Again, in Ayurveda, that's known as Agni. And so it's really good for stimulating this, our appetite, but can be too much for some people. Salty is the third taste, and this is the taste of the ocean. And again, in Ayurveda, it's made up of the water and fire elements. It's found in seafood and sea vegetables, sauces like soy sauce, salted meats, table salt, of course, and in some vegetables like celery. The taste of salty increases or enhances our appetite. It stimulates our digestive juices and it makes other tastes more delicious. So perhaps you've eaten or you've tasted a sauce that you've made and went, oh, that needs just a little more salt. That's why. Is because that salty helps to make the other flavors in that sauce or that meal more delicious. It enhances and promotes digestion as well. And so sweet, sour, and salty are very predominant in the American diet. And without the balance of the other three, pungent, bitter, and astringent, we can get an imbalance. So too much sweet, sour, and salty can lead to accumulations of feeling kind of heavy and sluggish in our body. So leading to weight problems, so could lead to diabetes or cholesterol issues. And just having more of the sour and salty tastes in your diet can increase symptoms of hypertension, digestive issues. And so we need to balance sweet, sour, and salty with pungent, bitter, and astringent. So pungent is made up of the elements in Ayurveda of air and fire, and it is the spicy taste found in herbs, spices, and essential oils. And a lot of times you can actually smell it before you taste it because of the essential oils being emitted from the plants. It's found in hot peppers, salsa, ginger, radishes, cloves, cinnamon, horseradish, just to name a few. So it enhances appetite and it stimulates our digestion. It also promotes sweating, which is detoxifying to our body, and it helps clears the sinuses. So if you've ever eaten at an Indian restaurant or had really spicy food and went, whoo, I'm sweating a little bit, that's good because it's detoxifying your body. And also if you have those foods and it clears your sinuses out, that's a good thing. That's helpful. So this taste is really helpful with someone who's trying to increase their metabolism, but the heat can cause imbalances in the body. And so you want to be aware of that so that you don't have too much of this, which could aggravate what we call an imbalance. So bitter, we don't necessarily love the flavor of bitter. I don't think I've ever sat down and gone, I'm just really craving some bitter food. But they're really important to eat because they contain the category of food that are really some of the anti-inflammatory powerhouses. In Ayurveda, it consists of air and space elements, and it's found in green and yellow vegetables, leafy greens, broccoli, Brussels sprouts, bok choy, kale, beets, almonds, coffee, and herbs such as rosemary and turmeric. So the bitter taste is detoxifying and depleting to the system. So these foods can help turn on liver detox enzymes, which are really good for our body. The taste also promotes weight loss, but if you have too much of it, it can cause some gas or indigestion. So imagine if you've ever eaten a little too much broccoli, sometimes that can create some gas in our systems, in part because of the fiber that's in it, but also with that bitter taste. So just be mindful of that. These foods get their taste from chemical constituents in the plants called alkaloids and glycosides. And so this is why they have those anti-inflammatory properties in them. And we now know that consuming foods that help decrease inflammation in the body can be helpful to prevent or also manage chronic illnesses. Because with research, we now know that underlying inflammation in the body is oftentimes the cause of a lot of chronic illnesses. So eating these foods can help counter that. Astringent is made up of air and earth elements, and it is the taste found in beans and legumes, tea, coffee, tart apples, the dark skins in grapes, or the tannins in black tea and dark berries. So astringent produces a drying, compacting, and almost a puckering effect in our bodies. So imagine biting into a green tomato, not a tomato. Well, a green tomato would do it. Imagine biting into a green banana. um, that would also trigger that astringent feeling. So, and modern science doesn't necessarily classify astringent as a taste, but the natural chemicals that produce the astringency have many health benefits, including regulation of digestive functioning, and also can help promote wound healing. It can also help in a situation where maybe someone has a lot of fluid in their body or sinus congestion. Eating more of the foods that have that astringent property can help with that. So I hope that this has been helpful to introduce you to kind of a new way to think about eating. Yes, these are the 6 tastes of Ayurveda, and they do help to balance what we call the doshas, or your mind body types. So if you're interested in learning more about that specifically, feel free to reach out and I would love to talk with you more about it. Until next time, I will see you later and have a wonderful day.